I mean, Spinnaker is open source project, but JFrog has been involved with a lot of other open source projects also. So can you talk about your involvement with the open source projects?
Absolutely. One of the challenges that exists is that JFrog actually, the genesis of Artifactory was a completely open source product. So our initial product was a product that supported Maven and a generic repository, and that remains an open source project. The new capabilities we've added over the last roughly 8 years are actually not open source, and that may change over time, but currently it is a closed source thing. That doesn't mean that JFrog isn't active in the open source community and contributing to open source. We do that in numerous ways. The biggest way in which we participate in the open source community is by providing a set of services that are free for the open source community to use. The most prominent of those is Bintray. So Bintray is essentially a package-specific CDN that we provide as a service that is free to open source projects. So, a great example of using that is Homebrew. So if you use a Mac and you use Homebrew to do package management on your Mac, on the back end, those packages are actually hosted by Bintray, and you're essentially a customer of JFrog, whether you know it or not, but when you're using Homebrew to manage packages on your Mac. We also provide for open source projects Artifactory as a service for free in partnership with Google. So on the Google Cloud Platform, together we contribute to providing Artifactory as a service to many open source projects. You can go to the JFrog open source page, just Google JFrog open source, and you can find out how to participate and how to apply for the use of those services. When we do integrations with our partners, it's not a requirement that they're open source, but it is true that to date, all of the integration points that we've made are open source, and the integration points in Artifactory. So Artifactory is an extensible platform that includes a CLI. It's extremely powerful. It's a open source Go project that enables you to very scalably and in a very performant way interact with Artifactory in an automated way. It allows you to integrate it with just about any CI system or other automation system. We also have a thing called user plugins that essentially subscribe to events within Artifactory. So anytime an artifact is created or moved or deleted, you can extend Artifactory to do custom actions. So a great example of that is recently we just published the ability to use webhooks within Artifactory for events, and that's an open source user plugin. Our customers often contribute to additional user plugins. So that's one way in which we leverage open source and allows us to sort of internalize what that means for ourselves, and our customers then can see and contribute to and participate in the JFrog community in that way.